Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here, although I'm not a professional, so I don't know exactly what I bring to the table except for what you people really already know. I'm flattered that this is called a Red Forum because that's what we did in Lacey Township. We developed a Red Community Night Out. But when Kevin asked me if I could come, I guess it's hard to say no to Kevin. But how did we get to Red Night Out? And actually, why did we pick Red? I think we picked it for several reasons. Most of you are aware of the national campaign every year in October for that recognizes Red Ribbon Week. And we do our program in February. That's also Heart Month. But to me, I think red symbolized something else. It sort of meant stop, that we have to stop. We have to stop and listen. But also, we have to stop the insanity of what's going on in our communities. Lacey Township is not a very big community, but it's not a real small community. We're about 28,000. We represent geographically the second largest in Ocean County. But our numbers of overdoses are probably some of the highest in Ocean County. Unfortunately, in 2009, we started to track our overdoses, and that's largely because of the Municipal Alliance. We needed to get information. And right now, this year, we're probably looking at the same as last year in terms of deaths. We have 7 so far. We had 8 last year, and the year's not over. I became a part of the Municipal Alliance back in 1990, and most of you probably are aware it's a prevention group designed to educate the community, raise awareness. I became coordinator in 2001, and people didn't really know what the Municipal Alliance did. They don't even know what we do or who we were. So the goal was just to get recognition. And actually, I guess I could say that I'm a community activist. So I was involved in PTA before that, and I'm involved in meetings trying to bring parents to the table to try to educate them about the problem with drugs and alcohol. And that goes back to actually 1984. And I recently came across some old notes that I had and didn't realize that that's almost 30 years ago. If I'm right, 2014 is right around the corner. And I read some of my notes from a program that we did, a drug parent program that we did in the early 90s, and in it I said, well, we say this every year about repeating this information. And I thought, well, that's almost 25 years ago, and we're still saying it. We're still trying to get parents out. So that's where we were over the years, trying to get the word out, what's going on in our communities. Finally, I felt very frustrated that even though the Municipal Alliance is supposed to be a group of community stakeholders, the police and everybody, we really weren't getting them to the table. So I suggested that maybe we needed a task force. So I talked to the police chief, I talked to the school superintendent, I talked to everybody I could, but I kind of lied to them. I said to the police chief, well, the school superintendent said that she'd come. So then I told the police chief, the school superintendent, well, the police chief will be there, not really knowing I had them. But that was the turning point for us, was forming a task force where we had the police chief, the superintendent, we had church leaders, and we also have some business members on the task force as well. So it was all of us really working together. We put together this Red Night Out, and lo and behold, we had almost 800 people that came out. So we were really shocked and pleased. The thing that shocked me was that parents, largely the parents in the room, were totally unaware of what was going on in our community. I knew, for years I've known, but people don't want to listen, they're too busy to come out. So we're gratified that we had that kind of turnout, and we really figure we need to know where to go from there. Because it's one thing to educate and raise awareness, and we think we've been accomplishing that. And perhaps maybe you have seen some of the papers about Ocean County recently. Through our, as was one of our participants mentioned about the prosecutors had some forums. I should mention also that we have a new county prosecutor who's really taking this issue on totally with both feet in, and he's buying into it and really trying to get do everything he can. We also had a new school superintendent, which helped, and a new police chief. To tell you the truth, that's really part of the problem, is you need to really get those people on board, but you really need them to buy into it. If they don't, it's really very difficult to make headway. So we've had some forums recently in Ocean County, and let's see, what day is this? A week ago, yesterday, there was a search of the lockers from the prosecutor's office. They brought in the dogs. It's probably only the second time that it's been done in Ocean County. I'm not certain that that's the answer, but it certainly has brought the attention back again to Lacey Township. Ironically, somebody asked me once when we were talking about what we did, if I was afraid that we were going to stigmatize the reputation of Lacey Township. And I felt, that's a strange question. I felt it was a setup question. But really, in reality, that's what we are doing. We have given Lacey Township a bad name. But I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that we are the ones in Ocean County who've been standing up and saying, we've got a problem. We don't care what anybody else thinks about us. We know we have to do this, but we cannot do this unless we are all working together. Education and awareness, but we also need to try to bring solutions. And I hope that's what we're going to be working towards, giving people resources and as well as solutions. Parents need to know where they can get help. And so that'll be the next step for us.
Thank you, Mrs. Hanlon.